And I see we have a few people on, but not very many, so let's wait for a little while. See if anybody else shows up. It's looking a little dark. Just a moment, I'm going to go turn on another light. That's a little better. Okie dokie. Well, we've been on for almost a minute. There's only one of us here, a couple of us here, so I don't know if we'll. Well, we're going to get started because I want to make this necklace. Hey, Deborah. Even if we don't do anything else. So, since we do have a few folks on now, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden. We are going to work on a necklace using our SoftFlex's Design Challenge Kit Lovebug. And we're going to use the bee and the 2 porcelain ladybugs from out of that kit, as well as the black bead strand. And then I've added leaves and flowers to it, so I think this is going to be a pretty necklace. I hope everybody agrees with that. So let's turn down and we will get started. So everybody ready? Come on, turn. There we go. Nobody cares about seeing my ceiling. There we go. You'll notice these little pieces over here and right here. I took a picture of my screenshot from my card challenge. My challenge is make a design inspired by where you live. Well, I live near the mountains, Glacier National Park, and we have eagles. We have bears, though this is a spirit bear, but it's still a bear. So those are going to get into my necklace, because mine is make a necklace, using these as my inspired by where you live. So I still got to design that. That's not what we're working on. But they are over there. Hi, Dorothy. Don't you just love those commercials? Anyway, so what we're going to work on is a necklace using our Lovebug kit from SoftFlex. And I have added a lot of my own things to this necklace because, well, the minute I saw these bugs, I thought, oh, well, we need to have flowers with them. So this is going to be our main piece. These will be up the side a little bit. But I've added all these flowers and leaves, and the black beads are from the kit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these teal flowers, and they'll go on either side of the bee. And then the ladybugs are going to get one of these lavender on either side of it, and one of the yellow. These little guys are going to go up higher in our necklace. And then each flower is going to have a leaf. These little flowers will get 2 leaves because they aren't going to have a bug in between them. And between every set of leaves, we're going to have 3 of the black beads. The rest of those will be going up towards the back. then we have these melon beads. The melon beads are because these spacers are because the hole in our bug is right here, and I don't want things smashing into them so much, so we're going to have the melon beads on either side of our big bugs. This one is sideways from here to here, because that'll keep things from smacking into them so much. So that's what we're going to be doing with the melon beads. Come on, get out of the lobster claw. And then everything is going to have, well, other than where the melon beads are, is going to have a little daisy spacer with it. Oh, and this is an extender chain in case we need an extender. And I have 4 crimp tubes. I've got 4 because this is going to be a relatively heavy necklace, so I'm going to double crimp it. So there we go. Sort of, it's loosely put together, but that's what it's going to look like. Aren't they, Anita? I think they're cute too. Sorry, I still have a touch of a cold. So I need a little bit of water there. So I've got some black onyx SoftFlex medium. And this is a 30-foot spool. And then I also have some, excuse me. Come on, where's the end here? Some black rubber tubing. Now I've got the black, oh, this is not rubber tubing, this is leather. Okay, we'll get the white then. I have some black rubber tubing somewhere, and when this came forward, I thought that's what it was, but it's some 2mm leather. So put that with my other leather later and get the clear tubing out. I have like 3 or 4 colors of tubing. I think it's dark green, and then this black, and the clear is what I use the most. And I think I have a lavender too, but they're tucked back in my cubby over here, and gosh only knows where exactly they're at. So what I'm going to do with this is my bees and my ladybugs have pretty good sized holes, so I'm going to cut a little bit of tubing off for each one of them. And you can use your flush cutters or your scissors on this stuff. It's pretty easy to cut. Whoop. It's also pretty easy to drop, obviously. Now, oh, there's the cut. Didn't go all the way through. This is the one for the bug, the bee. Hey, Rosemary. Yeah, the bumblebee is my favorite. In fact, when I ordered my new kit, I ordered, for next month, I ordered a couple more of the bees because they had them on their site. I might make some earrings or something to match this necklace. So got a piece for each one of our bugs since they have large holes. Now you could also put seed beads or something in here to keep them from having things fall into the hole when you're working with it. So there we go. We have all of our tubings set now. I have to get a new bag for this pretty soon if I don't use it all before I do that, because, hey, bag is tearing. So now we're going to get some SoftFlex off the spool. I tend to work from close to the middle and then go and then cut the other side so I don't cut a lot of extra wire or don't cut enough or whatever. So I'm going to start at this leaf right here. I put this here so that my beads don't sink into my spool so that I miss seeing that I've done something. I love these flowers. They're so pretty. Now, I was actually looking for some bigger flowers, but then when I found some bigger flowers, I'm like, oh, those are too big. They are sort of overpowering my bugs, and I didn't like that. So, okay, my rubber tubing fell out. Down we go. I'll see how the melons look and hold the bee into the middle here so it's not smacking into anything else. So I'm going to use 2 spacers here. Do I have enough to do that? I'm not sure I do. I threw some extras in here, but do I? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think so. If not, I'll just have to go get some more. Original plan was just 1 between everything, but then I decided I wanted a slightly bigger space here, so I put 2 in. Those go over there. I actually really like these yellow ones with the ladybugs, and I was thinking I'd put just them here beside them, but then I only had 3, so that wouldn't quite work. And I didn't want the yellow by the bee because it was too close to its color, and I didn't think it made enough contrast. Oops, forgot my little rubber piece. There we go. Like I say, you can use seed beads in there too, to fill in that hole. And you don't really need them. It's just mainly to keep your anything else from sliding into the bee or the ladybug. So I like this lavender colored one too. These are actually all pretty colors of the flowers. There's our first bit. Yes, that's exactly what I use the tubing for. It's to fill in the big holes because these are large holes. Oh, I can show you on this one. Well, see, I've got the rubber tubing in this one. It's sitting right here. But if I take it out, see how big that hole is, and then it moves around on your wire, and I don't really care for that much. So I put the rubber tubing in it, and it slims the hole down quite a bit. And like I say, you could do that with small seed beads too. Any seed bead that'll fit through the hole would work as a filler, which is more or less what that is just a filler. Hi, Miss Tacos. Now, do I want blue or red first? I think we'll go with the blue first. Oops. Oh no, I did get it. I thought I'd missed my spacer there. And 3. And this is where it ends. Oh, look at that. I have just about the perfect amount of string there. So here is our one side finished. This is our middle, and it goes all the way this direction. Sorry, So let's measure it, see how long we are at this point, and then we will cut the wire and get the other side done. Now it looks like we're almost 24 inches here. Well, we will be because we're at, come on, all the way up here, baby. We're at almost 11 where our bees would sit. So when we get all the hardware on, it will be a 22-inch necklace. So let's pull her back off. Now we'll unhook our spool here. Oh, come on. And we'll go up to this side. About right here's good. Cut this. Now we'll take off this bead stopper and start on this side. Oops. Come on, I know your hole's right here. There we go. Okay, it was the blue flower on this side. Yep. Oops, looks like I'm shy 2 spacers. I'm gonna have to go find some. Thank you, Dorothy. Okay, I think these are a slightly different size, but they're close enough to the back. I'm not going to worry about it atrociously. And if I did worry about it more, I could take and switch this one out here. See, they're not hardly different, but they're a little teeny bit different. Put it in here. And then use the original one here. And now the sides are the same, no matter if the 2 side beads are different. So there's lovely hardware on. Get a drink of water here. Okay, so next is our jump ring, not jump rings, crimp tubes. Now, if you're going to double crimp, you got to do it at the same time, so that you don't have a, come on, Rose, words. Anyway, you have to have both of your lines going through both at the same time, so you have to do both at the same time. So I usually have another little bead between my two, but I don't have any more black ones. So I could just move this first crimp to up here and then do the second one, and that might be what I do. Because I normally would have put another bead here, but like I say, between the two, but since I don't have any more black ones, and besides that would throw our pattern off, so we wouldn't want to do that anyway. So we're gonna pull the bottom first black one off, and see that just is going to change our pattern just a little bit because it's going to have that crimp tube in the pattern, but that's not that big of a deal. Now I'm going to go up. Just do this one. We have to be more careful with the other side because, of course, we have to roll everything over so it's even and doesn't have any big gaps. Leaving a loop here for my jump ring to go in. And I'm going to crimp this first one. Move these up. Now we have our second crimp here. Now I want that as close as possible. So put your crimp tube in and then move it up and then crimp. Now it's going to have a slight gap anyway because of course you got your pliers have to go in there, and they're going to leave a little room, but that's all right. So now we're going to feed, come on beads, go through the wire. Oh, come on, stop. Okay. Now I'm going to go through this last black bead, and then I'm going to cut this little teeny bit of excess wire I have off. And then we'll roll all of our beads that direction. Now see how that changed our pattern just a little bit, having that other crimp tube in there, but not much. So it's not that big of a deal. Roll everything down to that side now. And then we'll do the same thing over here. Pull this last black bead off. Put the crimp tube on. Black tube back in here. And now the crimp tube again. And now we have to, again, make sure everything is rolled down where you want it. And then, of course, we want to crimp again. Why 2 crimps? Because this is relatively heavy. And so I use 2 to make sure that if one fails, the other one won't. And you don't have to. I generally only do it when it is relatively heavy. This one actually probably doesn't need it. It's not as heavy as I expected it to be. Because I figured with the porcelain pieces, it would be heavier than it is. But so anyway, as I say, I use 2 because of its weight. This isn't just so heavy that I really needed it, but I decided to go ahead with it anyway. Okay, now we're going to roll through these beads on this side. Where you at, baby? I can feel you, but I can't see you yet. Okay, it's only gone through 2, but that's all right. We can go live with just 2. So we want to pull this up. And I'm going to make sure it's all rolled down. Push these guys down into position. And pull our cord again. That's about how big I want my loop to be, but I've got a gap here. See where this wire's coming out? So I'm going to force these guys to go down here so that it's tighter here. And then we'll pull this down again. That's probably more. That's about what I want it to be. Now there's still that little gap, but that's all right because as long as this guy is holding where I want him to be, I'm going to move these down and hold them there while I crimp this middle one. This time you want to do the middle one first because this is the one that's got the space here. See how big of a space there is right there now? I don't want that big of a space, so we'll put our crimp tube in here, push these down, pull this just a little bit. I don't want a ton of space, but I do need some. So we're going to push it down and then crimp and then push it down again, get in here. This crimped a little crooked and I'm not real thrilled with that, but so let's I don't think this is crimp tight, relatively. So oh, come in and get in the proper spot, you little turd. Okay, now we'll push this bead back down. And now I have a bigger loop than I wanted because I let that slide some. But I can live with it. So now crimp this upper one. Now I could have cut the cord already, but I didn't do it, so. So there we go. Now we'll cut our excess cord off here. Now see that loop is bigger than this one. And I wanted them about the same, but they're not, so we'll just have to live with that. Because I let this one slide a little bit when I was working on this side. So there is bees or ladybugs turn over. So there's this. Now we just got to put our hardware on here and it's going to be finished. Very true. Better to be safe than sorry. These are SoftFlex crimps, and they rarely ever fail, though I have had them fail a couple of times, but it's rare. But I actually had one break the other day, which surprised the heck out of me, because I'd never had one break before. But in fact, usually if I want them off, I have to cut them off. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this larger jump ring and put it on one side in one of these loops. Doesn't really matter which, just grab a side. And then we'll take and put the extender chain on here as well. Oh wow, this extender chain has some extra chain hanging off of it here. See if I can knock that off. Strange. I cannot. So I'm going to cut this last link off because you see how it's got this little niche of extra wire here? Don't want that on there. So we'll cut the last link off of here. We'll drop our extender chain onto our jump ring. Come on, baby. I know I'm holding you by hand. I'll get the pliers. So through there, you'll notice I have my lobster claw hanging in here right now. I did that to see to make sure that my lobster claw would fit in this chain. Because sometimes, especially with these bigger lobster claws, oh, come on, Rose, stop shaking. There we go. You don't always, they won't always fit. I've got chain over here, these won't fit. So, in fact, let's see if I can get a hunk of it here and I'll show you what I mean. See this chain? It's a really pretty chain. Won't go in. So I could not use this chain for extender chain because it wouldn't work. It's just too, the links are too small. So I always check to see if it will go in, and if it won't, then obviously I don't want to use that one. So then I'm going to take this medium size jump ring and we'll put our lobster claw on this side. Close her up. And I forgot to check this lobster claw, so we'll do that now. Yeah, it's working fine. Well, obviously I had used it because I put it on the extender chain. So I check my lobster claws because sometimes the spring in here that works the mechanism is broken. And if that happens, then your lobster claw won't work. It'll either stay latched open or it will it will open and close on its own. So there we go. We're all done. And that's one reason I always use a jump ring when I'm attaching clasp, because even though the SoftFlex is strong enough, you could attach it straight to it and you wouldn't have to worry about it. If this lobster claw were to break and you have it attached directly to your wire, then you have to restring the whole thing rather than just changing your clasp. Whereas with the jump ring in there, all you got to do is open the jump ring and switch your clasp out. So much simpler if you use a jump ring in this spot. I don't always want to use them in other places because I think it's more secure just to do things hardwired in. But as I say, in this instance, when you're putting your clasp on, it's always best to use a jump ring so that you, if your clasp should break, or say you're selling this and your customer doesn't like this type of clasp, you can easily change them out. Because, like I say, if this breaks, you can take the jump ring off and change it. If you want to change types of clasps, since we have 2 jump rings here, we can change our into a different kind of clasp, like a magnet clasp or a toggle clasp, if you sell this and that's what your customer prefers. So, you know, these little tiny things that sometimes make a big deal. Oh, thank you, Rosemary. Oh, yeah, I only use oval jump rings unless I'm in a spot where I can't, which does happen occasionally when you are in a spot, like, say you're going through something and you need to have that, an oval just won't go through because it's, you know, an oval, and you need the round. And that's the only time I use a round jump ring. I always use ovals. I feel they're much more secure because the break is in the side as opposed to the, you know, one of the ends. Gravity's going to keep your pieces away from that split, so it'll keep you don't have to worry about your pieces. Sorry, I accidentally bumped a button and I went and it took me off for a second there. I hope everybody's back. So, and my chat turned upside down. So there we go. She's all done. So there is our necklace all finished. Like I said, I added the flowers and the leaves from my stash. In fact, I got the leaves from Randy Brown at Thunder Horse Descendant. But these are so cute. I really like them. So anyway, we are we got a few minutes left here. Let's see. Hello? About 6. No, actually we got about 15 almost. So I'm not sure what else we want to work on right now. Or if we just want to chat for a bit. Let's turn up and let's just chat for a bit. Oh, come on. There we go. For a second there, it didn't want to flip. So if you need the jump rings, I think if you special order them, Randy can get just about every color except for bright copper of your oval jump rings. And she does get one in bright copper, but it's not quite an oval. She calls it a C because it's not as deep as an oval, but it still is a bit of an oval. So that's always a good place. So I think most of you all deal with Randy Brown as well. So yeah, just special order if you need that. The charms over here, these, I'm not putting them on this necklace. That is for, I don't know how many people were with Randy when she did our card challenge. This is for this particular, this is for this challenge here. When she drew, for those of you who didn't see that show on Sunday, she got this pack of cards. I think Karen Waters gave it to her, and they are called Make Use Challenge cards. And so you choose a make card, which mine is necklace, a use, and all of these are use here. And mine was use beads, seed beads in your design. I haven't designed this. The seed beads aren't there yet. But my challenge was to make a design that is inspired by where you live. Well, I live near Glacier National Park in the mountains. So this is my mountain scene that I'm going to put at the bottom. And I have a little eagle. Well, it was just a little bird. I painted it to look like a bald eagle. And it's going to go into the side somewhere of my necklace. I haven't finished designing. I just chose these pieces so far. And then my other 2 use cards, which adds to the challenge, is use 5 different types of beads and use crystals. So, like I say, I still have to design. I haven't finished designing that yet. I think she gave us 2 weeks to do it. So I might just design it and do it on our next live. But so yeah, we did have fun with the cards. And yeah, I hope, she said she was talking to the lady going to see about being able to sell them. So those would be fun. So that's what those charm pieces over there on the side are. I had found those and painted them so for my challenge, for my card challenge. So I haven't finished them yet, but that's what that's for. And here's our necklace, by the way. We can hold it. Isn't that pretty? And I think it did end up being 22 inches. Did we measure it? I don't think we did. Let me measure really quickly. Yeah, it's exactly 22 with the hardware on. And with the extender, you know, if people wanted it even longer, they could do that. Now the little bugs will still flip, but once they're sitting on you, obviously they won't. So that's our finished necklace. I could have used the bigger flowers up here too, but I thought the smaller ones were better because this is up towards the top, obviously. It's going to be, well, I've got a different necklace on, so, but it'll be like, so. But I think it turned out really nicely. I really like it. So that was our necklace for today. Actually took me less time to put it together than I expected it would. So, but it's fine. So thank you, Dorothy. I'm glad you love it. I love it too. So we still have about 10 minutes, and I don't think I have anything else that we want to put together right now. Like I said, I did buy some more of the bees, so I might design some earrings, except I don't have any more of the black beads if I was going to do that. I'll have to think about it. But, and it would need to be like a loop because it hangs with the hole going through its head. But have to think about that. But anyway, we're going to go off a little early, I think, because we do have about almost 10 minutes left, but I don't have anything else going on. I don't know if anybody has any questions about today's project or anything in general. If you do, then by all means ask. Anita, have you asked Randy if she would ship to South Africa? I know she's shipping to Norway for Annalise, so, and she has shipped to the UK before. So thank you, Miss Tacos. I think it's very springy also. Thank you, Dorothy. Okay. All right, I think I answered the questions that were up previously. Oh, thank you, Rosemary. So, pretty simple necklace. As I said, I put the melon beads beside the big hole beads so that the pieces wouldn't, the flowers, I especially did it because of the bee, as I didn't want the wings to smash right into the head of the bee, because as you can see with it, when it's hanging, they'll be just above the wings. But if I had not put the melon beads in, they would have smacked right into it. Where did I get the rubber tubing? I got this rubber tubing from SoftFlex when they had it on a live sale, so I don't think they sell it anymore. But I have seen it at Hobby Lobby before. I just haven't got it anymore because I haven't needed it, because I still have some from this stuff. But if you have a Hobby Lobby near you, that's where I've got it from before, as well as from SoftFlex. But like I say, I don't think SoftFlex has it anymore. I think it was like a one-time thing because they had it in a live sale. When they do their live sales, it's like last of some things that they have, and they are cutting the price and just and they haven't done a live sale for quite some time because Sarah always did them, and Sarah Ayler always did the live sales, and her husband has been diagnosed with brain cancer, and so and it's inoperable, so she hasn't done a lot of stuff that she used to do all the time, because she's been taking care of him and staying with the family as much as possible. So, and I certainly understand that. But yeah, I've seen it at Hobby Lobby, so you might want to check there for the rubber tubing. And like I say, if you can't get the rubber tubing and you need to fill in a large hole bead, just get some of your seed beads. Most people have them, even if they don't like them very much. They still probably have a few. And they'll go, if you've got the right size. Heck, sometimes the holes are big enough that sixes will fit in them. But if you can't find the rubber tubing, seed beads work really good too, just to fill in the hole. So it's also a thing to do. So anyway, we have 6 minutes left. I think I'm going to go, since other than the rubber tubing question, I haven't seen any more questions. So if you have anything else you need to know, hey, you can message me too. And anyway, we're going to leave for the day, and I hope you had a good time making this necklace with me. In my regular tutorials, I'm also making a necklace and bracelet on Thursday. And tomorrow I have a couple of bookmarks, all with the SoftFlex Lovebug kit. So a few more ideas. So yeah, I think that's it for today, and we will see you next week on our live. If we don't see you sooner, I'll probably, well, most of you I can talk to on Randy Brown's morning show, so we can see you then too. So we'll talk to you all later. Bye bye. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you next week.